do I still have to go through you? And he called my mom and just said, she's asking too many questions. And that's when the first trigger went off that I went, you know what? I think I'm missing, I can do this, but I think I'm missing something more personal. And I didn't know I was missing it until Ray introduced that to me and said, do you have a personal relationship with Christ? Do you talk to him? I said, yes, I do, but the priest said I'm not really supposed to do that. And we were in California, and he brought me to a little church, and I sat down with a pastor, Neuenschwander, and his wife, and it was quite a spiritual battle, very much a spiritual battle, and finally made that surrender. So,
wow.
Yeah.
What a story. I want to read to you a quote that I guess this is one of the many interviews you've done over the years. When I was recording The Little Mermaid, I was really struggling. I gave my husband every reason to divorce me. I was leading a double life. I had recorded 3 albums and had been on the cover of some Christian magazines, yet I was ready to take my own life. Even though Christian counselors advised Ray to divorce me, he stayed the course. His love and commitment saved my life. I had to surrender and recommit my life to Christ and let God take over. When I asked God to take charge, He completely restored my life and our marriage. It's mind-boggling. I look at our family, our life. None of it would be here without Jesus and Ray. Maybe one day I'll have a portion of the servant heart my awesome husband has. It sounds like you've been through some gunk.
Yes. I hadn't heard that interview in a long time, so caught me off guard with that. Yes, we have. Everybody's got their stories and everybody's got their journeys. Yes, I have had my share, as many people have, of a lot of stuff that through childhood and comes up as you get older. And married Ray when I was very young and hadn't had an opportunity to work through the losses and issues. And with many, many years of counseling, it really took its toll for me to finally get to the end. And once I got to the end and let go was the great step that the Lord grabbed me, jumping off the cliff and knowing that He was holding on and that the Lord was holding on to me. And like I say, if it weren't for Glenn and Linda Keene, and Dean and Lori Jones, Max and Virginia Woolf, Buster Gina Holmes, these 4 couples that just walked alongside. And God just orchestrated for me to be part of The Little Mermaid, primarily to meet Glenn Keene, the world's greatest animator. And had I not met him when all of my life fell apart with my husband, I would not have had food or shelter. He and his wife took me in and put me up in their home for 3 months while I was suicidal. So when I look at the fact that God chose me to be part of this film, His whole plan was not about the film. His plan was about relationships. And He knew that Glenn and Linda and Dean and Lori and these couples was how I was going to meet them and how He was going to set me up and protect me, during the course of the trials that Ray and I went through. And when we were able to walk through that, again, my husband, I always say that when I grow up, I want to be more like him. He's one in a million. He's really an amazing man. And
I think you've described him as a silent server.
He is. He is a silent servant's heart.
Yeah.
He is one of those people that you're blessed when you are around him, and I feel incredibly honored and blessed to be his wife. I still battle with sometimes looking at him going, why, why did you stay? Why did you stay? So, I still need to kind of process through, I guess, some forgiveness issues that come up randomly.
So is that where that emotion came from, Jodi?
I think hearing the story and just remembering, I don't think about it very often. With the kids now, our life is a day-to-day walk of praise and blessing, and we live, our motto in our family is to savor the moment, live in the moment, live today. And so I don't think about the past all that much, especially when it comes to do with the trials. And I think just hearing that interview from years ago, just the emotion of gratefulness, not the emotions of sadness, it's the emotions of gratefulness and thankfulness that God spared my life, that I'm still alive, and that I was able to, be a mom and to experience this journey. There's really no reason I should be here alive, really. There are so many ways that the consequence, as I'm reading in this book right now, the consequences of my sin equal total and utter destruction. That's the only thing that they equal. And when you pile them all together, and there's no other option except total destruction and death. But because they have been nailed to the cross, I am completely free. So the emotion comes from, I think, just being incredibly grateful that God held on to me. So.
Jodi Benson is on the phone with us, and I want to thank you for your vulnerability, your willingness to be authentic with us. That's important from, I think, everyone's point of view. A lot of people know you as Little Mermaid, Ariel, Princess Ariel. A lot of people know you as a Jesus gal because you're pretty forthcoming about that. But when they see and hear you in the media, I don't think you don't want to turn things into a Jerry Springer moment all the time.
Oh yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
So there's no point going over and rehashing the stuff, but they don't hear that pain that you have gone through, that you have processed. They see the perky, positive homeschooling mom stuff, maybe. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's really neat. Like my life verse is, John 15:5. I'm really nothing without him. So I have no words of wisdom. I have no great knowledge. I have Jesus, and that's all I need. And he's enough. So when I need to open my mouth as I pray before an interview, and I just say, Lord, let me be light and salt. I mean, that's the whole reason that I do what I do, is to be light and salt in whatever capacity, whether I'm singing a song or shaking somebody's hand after a show or talking on the phone to you. That's my prayer, is to let me be light and salt. So I certainly don't want to get in the way of whatever God's doing.
Yeah.
And if emotions come, emotions go, as you call it, a vulnerability, the way I look at it is that this is me, and I love the Lord, and he needs to be glorified, not me, that's for sure. And I really don't want to get in the way of whatever it is that he has to do, and whatever his plan is. I am joining him in his work on a daily basis. That's our prayer as a family, Let us join you in your work today, whatever it is. Please let us be light and salt. And I don't want to miss any opportunities. I don't want to be that person that gets passed over and God uses somebody else to change a person's life because I wasn't willing. I have to stop and say, Lord, please don't let me miss any opportunity today of being a part of your work. I don't want to be passed over.
Well, and you certainly haven't been. God has given you quite a platform. Princess Ariel and the Little Mermaid, Weebo in Flubber, Tour Guide Barbie in Toy Story 2, Thumbelina. You know what? I wonder if you could, I don't know whether you can do this. Is there much of a variation between those characters from a vocal point of view, from an audio point of view, or are they very similar?
Well, I guess I don't really think about it, to be honest with you.
Because, for example, if I was to say, okay, do a Weebo, or do Ariel, or do Barbie, or do Thumbelina, or do Polly.
I think they do have. I don't go into a place where I think technically about a voice. What I do is I go into the character.
Sure.
So immediately when I see Ariel, I can go back to the initial lines. Maybe he's right. Maybe there is something the matter with me. I can
do it again.
I can see her, but then as soon as I can see Barbie, I can see John Lasseter with, Hi, I'm tour guide Barbie. Welcome to Big Al's Toy Farm. Back in 1997, short-sighted retailers did not make enough dolls to meet the demand. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. But, so it's not like I sit there and go, technically I need to alter my voice like this.
No.
It's just that
you get into character.
You just sort of play with who they are.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So it's fun. It's a really fun job. I love what I get to do.
Good for you.
I really do.
Good for you. Jodi, it has been an absolute pleasure and an honor to speak with you. Thank you for coming on the show. And I wish you the best. I hope God blesses you in such a way that he just freaks you right out.
Well, my prayer, and I appreciate that, is that God will just use us for his kingdom, and that we will be willing and open and able to be his vessels. That's our prayer for our family. And I, Drew, appreciate you, asking me to be a part of your show. I know you've got a lot of wonderful people that get to share their light. So I just appreciate that you put me in the pot and let me be part of it.
I think this is the perfect way to say goodbye to you. Have a listen to this, folks, and we'll say goodbye to Jodi.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Beautiful.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
From the blooper reel on Toy Story 2.
I know.
All right, Jodi, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you, listeners, and God bless you. Appreciate your time.
Bye. Okay. Are they all gone? Is everybody gone? Huh? Good. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are killing me. I can't keep smiling like this anymore. I am exhausted. I think I need a break. A little break? Okay. Phew.